Welcome to Assembly Calendar. I'm Mike Friesen, and with us for our program today, Assemblyman Tom Alfano. Tom Alfano represents the 21st Assembly District in New York State, an Assembly District that includes parts of Nassau County on Long Island. And we want to thank you folks all across the island for joining us for this next in our series of program, which we spotlight the Elmont community. And we want to thank you folks, especially in Elmont, for joining us today. This show is all for you. Tom Alfano, one of your favorite places to spend time is the community of Elmont.
It's a greatly diverse community, highly diverse community with a lot of young people, and it's a wonderful place. It's the gateway to Nassau County, and we've been working very hard to sponsor programs for the children during the summer months, as we'll see during the show.
And that's what this show is all about, showing you a little bit about what's going on in Elmont, but also letting you folks in the community know about the discussions that are taking place here at the state capitol. And Tom Alfano, I think the community has got to be thrilled with the recent news that one of its own is now has ascended to leadership in the state legislature. New York State Senator Dean Skelos has become the majority leader of the New York State Senate.
It's so exciting, Mike. I mean, Dean Skelos and I have a long-time personal relationship. Years ago, before I entered elected office, I was his counsel. So I worked for him for probably 8 years while I was a lawyer in New York City. I was part-time counsel to him. He's just a delightful person. He's generous, he's kind, he's intelligent, he's motivated, and he really wants to do the right thing for the people of the state of New York, not only for the people of Long Island. And as you know, we share part of the 21st Assembly District is part of his senatorial district. So I've worked with him as an elected official for years, and I just couldn't be more happy, not only for the people in my district, but for the 19 million New Yorkers, because I know that Senator Skelos will work tirelessly and be above partisan politics and just do a magnificent job in guiding, in assisting the governor and the speaker in guiding the state toward the greatness it deserves.
And you know, I make the point about it being good news for Elmont and the communities all across Nassau County, because nobody understands those issues better than your local representatives. That's why you have all those different levels of government. And here is one of your representatives now who really has a chance to make a big difference and work that into the negotiations and the talks that are going on here in Albany.
It is, Mike. You bring out the point of it's a true statement what you just made. This is a big bonus for the Nassau and Suffolk County residents, because one of our own, someone who pays the property taxes where we live, someone who is conscious of maintaining the quality of our public education system, which is the hallmark of Nassau and Suffolk counties, is now one of the three people granted in that room. And as I said, Dean is a fighter. I mean, for years he has led the battle to make sure that Long Island gets its fair share of state aid to education. He has been the fighter. And now, you know, he has a larger responsibility, granted. And this very week, we're shooting this show in July. He's in Buffalo and Elmira. He knows he has to be the Senate Majority Leader for all New Yorkers. And I know he's going to do a first-rate job in that capacity.
We're going to give you some idea of what we're talking about now as we look at one of the many groups of students that Tom Alfano brings to Albany to get a closer look at New York State government. Here is a group of students from the Gotham Avenue School, and when you take a look at this particular trip of students that made their way through the state capitol buildings, I believe you'll see here that they had not only a chance to meet with Tom Alfano, but also the senator himself, Senator Dean Skelos, was there too, just giving that idea of this is your local representative who's also now going to be, talking in those meetings, as you so put it, with the governor and the assembly speaker and so forth. So let's talk a little bit about this group of students from Gotham Avenue.
Yeah, Dennis Cowan, who's the assistant principal, led a trip of 50 students, Gotham Avenue students, to the Capitol as part of my Mentors in Leadership program. The students had a town hall meeting, and as you mentioned, we were joined by the now Majority Leader, Dean Skelos. We talked a lot about Belmont Racetrack, which is right near Gotham Avenue, and how Belmont could be a better neighbor to the Locustwood Gotham area. And the students visited the Senate chamber, the $1 Million Staircase, and the New York State Museum.
And got to
also
sit in your seat, and all those are the seats of the assembly members themselves that they're all sitting in there as they get a chance to listen to you and Senator Skelos. That's a lot of things, and you mentioned the Belmont Racetrack. Well, that was a real bone of contention here in Albany. The debate on whether there was going to be the expansion and the improvements there. Well, now Senator Skelos maybe is in a better position to be dealing and getting something done there, huh?
Mike, you're right on. And you could bet your life that we're going to be having discussions soon. As you probably know, Aqueduct Racetrack is in Queens, not too far from us, and that process had taken an incredible amount of time and to decide who gets the contracts at Aqueduct. They say that should be decided sometime shortly. Then I think many of us will turn our attention to Belmont and what can be done there, because as we know, that can be a great economic stimulus to the 21st Assembly District, and it can be the destination that I think it was meant to be.
If you're wondering what happened with the video there at the end of that clip, that was not a mistake. That was the kids moving from the Assembly Chamber and enjoying the carousel at the New York State Museum, which is right also here in Albany as part of the Capitol Complex. I don't know, they seemed a little bit happier on the carousel than maybe they did in the Assembly Chamber.
Probably more exciting. But it's a fun-filled day, and they learn so much, Mike. The letters that I get from these wonderful students when they come back and write to me and tell me how they've learned so much about state government. And as I pass by with my own 3 children, you know, throughout the malls or in the community at restaurants, and you have these 5th and 6th graders who know who their state representatives are, I think that is a good thing for democracy, and that's why I do it. I think it's really good to empower children, to demystify government so that they know that someday they can grow up and do this. Let's face it, this is the land of opportunity. There's no reason why one of the children from my assembly district can't rise to even greater governmental heights. It would be good for all of us.
You folks watching this program, you ask the kids that you know who their state representatives are, who their county, their town representatives are, and see if they know the answers to that. A good thing, again, that you're doing, bringing the kids up here to Albany to see what's going on. We'll be revisiting that later on in this program. When we're still on the subject of the kids, we're going to turn to those from Alden Terrace now. Tom Alfano had a chance to participate with them in a terrific event, including the local Audubon Society. Let's take a look now at some of the footage here, Tom Alfano, and tell us a little bit more about this program.
Yeah, it's a fantastic program I sponsored for the Alden Terrace 4th graders in partnership with the Teddy Roosevelt Audubon Society in Oyster Bay. The Society has a special outreach program that teaches young people about birds, ecology, and our environment. This program was highlighted by owls, hawks, and eagles.
Look at that. That's awesome right there. I mean, to actually have the birds right there. And, you know, I mean, look at the kids there. This is something they've never seen before.
No, and these particular birds, part of the program, were injured and literally nursed back to health by the Society.
Did you hold that bird right there? Did you get close to that?
I was in the back of the room.
On purpose.
See, yeah, I really was.
They're very intimidating. They look beautiful, and I mean, but they're huge. I mean, look at that wingspan, and they are a little intimidating. I've seen those kinds of birds up close.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And the program was expanded to other schools in Elmont, Franklin Square, North Valley Stream, and Floral Park this year. The kids really enjoyed it. They loved the red-tailed hawk and the owl that was reminiscent of the Harry Potter series. It was really a wonderful opportunity. The kids had a great time.
You know, it's a wonderful thing to be able to bring nature to kids that way who might otherwise never get a chance to see it, and really know that these are not just, you know, pictures on stamps or in a textbook or something like that. These are birds that really do exist and are out there, and in some instances, you know, really may be a part of the community that they're just not aware of. You know, there's the owl.
Wow, look at that owl.
That is just gorgeous. And you know, here in Albany, we have falcons that nest nearby, and you just don't know that these birds are sometimes a little bit closer to you than you might think. It's a good lesson for the kids to get.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time.
That's really nice. It's a great thing for the kids because it's so educational, but that's also a lot of fun too. You could tell from the looks on their faces that they were paying an awful lot of attention to what was going on there.
It was good.
I didn't see the shot of you in the back of the room, but I take your word that that's where you were.
I'm telling you the truth.
So maybe some of these same kids ended up coming to Albany later on this year, because let's turn now to some more of the Students and Mentors program that Tom Alfano sponsored by bringing some of the Alden Terrace school kids up to Albany for a day, much like Gotham Avenue. If we can take a look at that now, we'll see that